has been a very wild and crazy week if you're AEW and Tony Khan, and none of it is particularly good. First, it started with Ryan Nemeth when he claimed abuse and harassment with situations that arose, documents that were uncovered by Fightful in regards to Ryan Nemeth and CM Punk when CM Punk was still employed with AEW. Then we get Rey Fenix going on social media using words such as inhumane and going out there and throwing it in AEW's face that they ignored him for months when he needed medical attention and he needed doctors to get himself fixed. He largely went ignored. Now we have Rey Fenix deleting those tweets, and none of it exists now on social media, but everybody has already screenshotted their tweets of Rey Fenix, and now fans are wondering, why would he go and delete all of these tweets that caused such a shitstorm on social media this past weekend? We will talk about that today, as WWE is now keeping a very close eye on the Rey Fenix and AEW situation, and they may be getting their hands dirty in this entire fiasco. Also, major news is starting to come out about the Netflix debut on January 6th for Monday Night Raw. Who's going to be there and what is the main event going to be for what will be the biggest Monday Night Raw of all time? I got the latest on all that today right here on Off the Script, and we will start with Rey Fenix. People in WWE were surprised by Rey Fenix's recent AEW tweets. Now, if you guys are not aware of the situation, if you guys don't care about the situation, I'm going to put these tweets up for you guys to see right now. As you see there, Rey Fenix went on a tirade on social media in regards to what he has been going through within AEW. As you guys see there, I needed a doctor and you ignored me for months. And then he says no one stays in a place where they received inhumane treatment. Now, I talked about this on my end. I did almost an hour on the Rey Fenix situation. Talked about it again last night on episode 76 of Tuesday Night Titans with the Solid Monster. We gave both of our opinions going back and forth on the situation, so go check that out. And now WWE is keeping an eye on this situation, and this news comes after Rey Fenix deletes his tweets. These tweets that I just showed you, scrubbed from social media. Now, the belief is the time added is close to a year to Rey Fenix's contract. That's where all of these problems stem from. And once that time passes, he will then reunite with Penta, his brother, the Lucha Brothers. They will be back together, and they are rumored to be heading to WWE. Fenix responded to a tweet by Dr. Chris Featherstone of Sportskeeda, who was told that the real reason, I'll throw that tweet up for you guys now if you guys don't know of what's going on or who Dr. Chris Featherstone is. He did tweet about the Rey Fenix situation, who was told the real reason for the time being added to Fenix deal wasn't due to the report of the Lucha Brothers having talks with WWE and Tony Khan being upset about it. There was a real story behind the situation with Rey Fenix, which is reportedly a huge injustice. Now, Rey Fenix stated in a response that this was the most accurate comment that he's seen with reports about his status before, alleging that a doctor didn't give him proper treatment for months. Now, I did say that this all could be a very calculated plan by Tony Khan. He didn't outright set out to just completely ignore Rey Fenix. But then more and more months went by. He kind of realized, because people were talking, Conan, and I'm sure murmurs and whispers were happening backstage that got back to Tony Khan, that they were probably on their way out of AEW. When those murmurs and whispers happened, I don't know. But theoretically thinking, if it happened earlier in the year, that would line up with Rey Fenix being ignored. And I said last night with Solid Monster, is it a situation where Tony outright did not even acknowledge Rey Fenix needing medical assistance because Tony Khan didn't want to pay for Rey Fenix medical? He didn't want to pay for his surgery, rehabilitation, get him back and nurse him back to 100%, and then have him leave the company? Is there a line of pettiness that Tony Khan obviously crossed here, more so than he has done in the past? I brought it up. It's something to talk about, and I like to dip my hand in the conspiracy theory cookie jar from time to time. Who knows? We don't know anything about the situation, just raising a talking point. Did he get ignored, then get his surgery, rehabilitation, come back to TV, and the time that he was ignored, which shouldn't have been, that time was added on top of his contract? Also a possibility. Or did he go and get his surgery, go through rehabilitation, get cleared, and then AEW medical and AEW doctors did not clear him because of the rumors circulating that they were going to be on their way, both of them, Phoenix and Penta, on their way to WWE, so they did not clear him, which kept him at home. He was ready to go, and that time in which they ignored him was added on top of his contract, and that's where he's crying injustice and inhumane on social media. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to nail one of the possible situations here. This is all we have to go on. And this is not our fault. We're left to do nothing but speculate. And I'm just throwing out all the possible scenarios in this Rey Fenix situation. But Chris Featherstone says that the situation is a huge injustice. And Phoenix responded that this is the most accurate comment that he's seen in regards to his report. Now, in a recent edition of Sportskeeda's Backstage Q&A, the guys over at WrestleVotes noted that those in WWE were surprised by his tweets and that he believed WWE would dig into the allegations. WrestleVotes stated hearing that there were those in WWE that were surprised yesterday with the Rey Fenix tweets. Not to say that they're not interested anymore. I'm sure that did not change. But there were some eyebrows raised over those tweets, especially if you're going to put that out there publicly. I think WWE is going to do some more digging into what's going on. So that doctor, my phone started to buzz a little bit afterwards about just the surprise from a few WWE staffers that didn't really have a pulse. That's Dr. Chris Featherstone, by the way. Pulse on what's going to happen, what may or may not be going on over there with Rey Fenix. So I just think it raised eyebrows throughout the whole wrestling world, and it did. Certainly, it did in Stamford, Connecticut. End quote, says WrestleVotes. I don't know why Rey Fenix deleted the tweets. That's going to look bad on Rey Fenix, and now people are going to run with the situation of, well, shouldn't have said anything at all, man, and all this other nonsense, and the overly fucking nauseating glazing of a multi-billionaire who doesn't give a shit if you're alive or breathing. It doesn't matter. People are just going to outwardly, look, Tony Khan was right. Tony Khan was right, man. Another one for the good guys. This doesn't mean anything. For all I know, Rey Fenix was met with a fine and an NDA, and he is now told to be quiet. For all we know, Rey Fenix signed an NDA, and they're already possibly penning his release from the company, and he won't be able to speak about this at all anymore because it gives nothing but bad press to AEW when all that they have right now is bad press, and all that they have is bad fucking television, and interest in every single metric is down in the company, and they don't need this to be any more of a headache than it already is for AEW. We don't know. Maybe Rey Fenix thought that this would facilitate his release from the company and force AEW's hand. It did not work out that way, and now he's met with a cease and desist or an NDA or something along those lines. We don't know. You know what would have not done the bad here in AEW's case? You know what would have happened if AEW would have released Rey Fenix like they should have and not add any time on top of his contract and let the fucking guy go do what he's got to do? Say thank you for everything you did for us. Originals for 5 years. You know what would have been done, should have been done? AEW should have released him. None of this would be a problem. None of this would even be a thing this weekend. So we deleted the tweets, and now people are going to run with, look, Rey Fenix is in the wrong. Oh, look, Tony Khan wins. Tony Khan wins again. I don't see anything along those lines being the case. I don't. And I'm sticking with my guns on this. Inhumane, I said in regards to Rey Fenix, who are we to say what's inhumane to him or not? If he felt that it's inhumane, if he deemed it inhumane to him and his livelihood, then that's on him. He's got every right to feel that way. We're only outsiders looking in. But Tony Khan should have absolutely released him and let him go do what he's got to do. I really do think that there is a possibility that Tony Khan, after all this, kept this card in his back pocket, maybe not knowing it right up front, but realized that it was there, came across it, and said, you know what? We're going to fuck this guy over. He's going to leave us. We're going to fuck him over. We're going to ice him, just like we're icing Ricky Starks and just like we're icing Wardlow and everybody else that we feel is going to WWE or could possibly end up in WWE. There is no line for Tony Khan's pettiness. He will cross every single one of them. It doesn't matter. He takes this shit emotionally. That's the problem. He feels that WWE is trying to fuck with his business. Who are you? WWE's tried to fuck with everybody's business, man. You're no different than everybody else that came before you. Why are you taking it to be so emotional? Why are you taking it out on the pro wrestlers that break their fucking backs for you? Maybe if you didn't have everybody go out there and do their own fucking crazy stunts and all this crazy bullshit that we see that comes off same as everybody else before it. Maybe if you didn't have these guys go out there and fucking kill themselves every night, bleeding every night, weapons every night, maybe Rey Fenix wouldn't have been injured as many times as he has, and maybe he'd be out of the company now when he wants to, instead of keeping him iced and ignoring his phone calls and not getting him medical assistance. Maybe he wouldn't have been injured as many times as he has been. But it's a sloppy shop. And the communication there has been fucking terrible. Christopher Daniels should be fucking fired if he's head of talent relations and does not properly relay the concerns of the roster and all these major situations to the people who need to take care of them. And then Tony Khan is just going to go out there, oh, I didn't know that happened. Oh, I didn't really have any recollection of that. You as the president, you as the boss should know everything that is happening with your roster. This guy is so fucking busy flying the cringy Costco family to fucking Dallas on his private jet that he doesn't even realize all the other important shit, people's livelihoods at stake, people's mental fucking health at stake. He's too busy fucking cozying up with double chocolate chunk cookies to even give a shit about what's going on with anybody else. Division of one man, said Tony Schiavone, right? What happened to the fucking elite? What happened to Cody? What happened to the original mission statement of AEW? They get and sit in front of a fucking podium in front of 20 fucking fans outside Globe Life Field, and they say the vision of one man is the reason why we're all here. One man? The vision of one man's fucking killing the company. I don't take this Rey Fenix shit, him deleting the tweets, to be anything more than him being right, and now they're trying to shut him up. NDA, cease and desist, whatever the case may be. Fines, whatever the case may be. I still think that Rey Fenix has got something here, and I do think that when these guys are able to talk, we're going to know more, a lot more, of what's going on in AEW, and I feel that everything that you're hearing now is going to be fucking 20 times worse when more people start to talk. And you know what? I'm going to have my fucking shades on, and I'm going to watch the world burn, because bad people and bad behavior should be exposed, especially like this, for a major wrestling company, the second biggest wrestling company in the entire world, not doing what is right for the pro wrestlers when this company started for the pro wrestlers, by the pro wrestlers, and now it's for Tony Khan and by Tony Khan. It's a terrible situation. Don't really follow all the grifters of AEW online. The ones who are going to push valiantly that AEW is in the right and I told you so. Don't follow these people. We got to stick with the wrestler. We have to stick with the wrestler because obviously shit's not adding up here. He wouldn't have tweeted it if it's not right. And something did happen. We just got to figure out what that is. And when he speaks, I have a feeling it's going to be very, very bad. Huge main event reportedly planned for WWE on Netflix Monday night, January 6th for the Raw debut. Fans can expect to see CM Punk back in action after he wrestled inside Hell in a Cell with Drew McIntyre, after he wrestled alongside OG Bloodline and Roman Reigns at War Games. The next time we will see him in action is potentially on January 6th, the premiere episode of Monday Night Raw on Netflix at the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Punk, John Cena, The Rock are all speculated to be on this show. It's going to be the biggest WWE show in Monday Night Raw history. Chris Featherstone, who has broken the Rey Fenix story, and this guy has gotten a lot of play in the IWC as of late, reported yesterday that WWE is planning to have CM Punk wrestle Seth Rollins in the main event of Monday Night Raw, January 6th on Netflix. Before Punk was injured earlier this year, he was originally slated to wrestle Rollins for the World's Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 40. And Rollins defended the title instead against Drew McIntyre, and Punk played a factor in McIntyre losing the championship in 5 minutes. They've kept this feud alive since then with promo packages as recently as this week on Raw. Their last face-to-face was on Monday night as of last week. Punk had a sit-down interview this week with Jackie Redmond, and CM Punk went over the fact of, I don't hate Seth Rollins, but everything that Rollins did, I did before him, and I did it better. And Seth Rollins claimed, I hate CM Punk for all the reasons that he listed, so we got a little bit more context as to why these two don't like each other. It was a great back and forth individually on Monday Night Raw. A lot of people now are starting to talk, well, if this is the main event on Monday night, January 6th, what are both Rollins and CM Punk going to do at WrestleMania? This does not mean that they are not each other's WrestleMania opponents even still at WrestleMania 41. This could be the first of 2 matches, the first of 3 matches here. We don't know. The long-term plan has been Rollins and Punk, and I think we still have a feeling that it's going to be Rollins and Punk at WrestleMania. Who knows? Gunther could lose the championship before WrestleMania, and one of these guys could have it. Rollins could win it back, and Punk and Rollins could be the World Championship at WrestleMania 41, just like the original plan called for at WrestleMania 40. We don't know. This is the great thing about WrestleMania season. I feel like this is going to be the most unpredictable WrestleMania season that we've ever had. That could very well be the case. Does it need the championship? No, it doesn't. But we know CM Punk wants a main event. We know CM Punk wants the World Championship. That could be an in right there, and they go back to the original plan. Does this mean that CM Punk and Roman Reigns gets fast-tracked to WrestleMania 41? Could be. But then where does that leave Seth Rollins, and what does Seth Rollins do on WrestleMania Night 1 or Night 2? I still think that Rollins and Punk are each other's WrestleMania opponents, and now you're leaving a big what if and a big question mark on Seth Rollins, because the only person that he's been feuding with, honestly, he's been involved with Bronson Reed. Obviously, he still wants the World Championship back. He was involved with McIntyre. I mean, it all comes back to CM Punk. So if you do Punk and Roman, because you're doing Punk and Rollins at Monday night, January 6th on Netflix, where does that leave Seth Rollins at WrestleMania? You're just kind of pushing his WrestleMania plans to the side because you're going to give CM Punk the bigger match against Roman Reigns, which would also play into the fact of Roman Reigns not knowing what the favor is to Paul Heyman and CM Punk. That could be it. Is that the favor? Roman Reigns and CM Punk, WrestleMania, Punk cashes in on that WrestleMania main event. I don't know. Could also be something to look out for. But I'm going to go with the safe route here. I think this is going to be match 1 of either 2 or 3. And I think they culminate their feud at WrestleMania. And then when we get through WrestleMania, they both move in their separate directions. I don't think this is meaning that, oh, well, Punk is wrestling Rollins on January 6th. Now this sets up Punk and Reigns for WrestleMania. I'm not going to complain if that's the case, but I'm going to wonder what Seth Rollins is doing at WrestleMania, and then what does Cody Rhodes do at WrestleMania? Does he get Randy, or does he get The Rock? I don't know. I mean, we could go in a couple of different directions for WrestleMania, but we don't have any clear direction on what's happening at WrestleMania, which is great. And normally at this time, we kind of start to slowly piece the puzzle together. I don't got a fucking clue as to what's going on. And a lot of it hangs in the balance because we don't know what Rock is doing. So we'll keep you guys posted on that. But apparently Dr. Chris Featherstone, who's broken stories in the past, has gotten a lot of shit right in the last 2 weeks. This is what he's saying is the Monday Night Raw debut on Netflix, main event, January 6th. Roman Reigns, he's set to work a rare WWE TV match, and this is once again happening on January 6th on Netflix, the Monday Night Raw debut. Dr. Chris Featherstone has also reported today that Roman Reigns will be on that show, and he will be in the ring wrestling. He is scheduled to compete, as he put on social media, scheduled to compete on Monday night, January 6th. Raw debut on Netflix. It's unclear who his opponent will be against, although he's been feuding with Solo Sikoa and the rest of the new Bloodline in recent months. It could be a singles match against one of the Bloodline members. It could be a singles match against Solo Sikoa for the rights of the Ula Fala. And if The Rock is there, we could see that match take place, because Triple H has stated that this show is going to be just as big as a WrestleMania build and a WrestleMania card. I believe him on that. I do think that we could see Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns for the Ula Fala, which then has The Rock on that show, and then we get Rock and Roman on the road to WrestleMania. But again, I don't even know, because Rock could be doing anything at WrestleMania. He could do Roman at WrestleMania in the main event at night 2. We could get that one-on-one match. Rock versus Roman. We could get Rock versus Cody. How do we get Rock in the main event of WrestleMania? Does he win the Rumble? Does he win the Chamber? Do they go in a completely separate direction, like I said? Do they go Cody and Randy Orton for the WWE Championship? Do they go Punk and Roman at WrestleMania? Rock doesn't wrestle. We don't know. A lot of everything hangs in the balance because of what The Rock is doing. But if Roman is going to be wrestling at Monday Night Raw on Netflix, January 6th, I could absolutely see it being Solo Sikoa, and I could see that match being for the Ula Fala. No doubt about it. And finally, guys, Rock, speaking of which, he is slated to appear at the Netflix premiere, as I had told you already 2 weeks ago. Rock is slated, and many weeks ago, Rock slated to appear on WWE Raw's Netflix premiere, and another big name in the way of John Cena will be on that show as well. This is coming from Sportskeeda. Backstage Pass Q&A. WrestleVotes noted The Rock, who has been speculated to make an appearance, is believed to be scheduled for the show. He's also heard, WrestleVotes has, that Shawn Michaels will make an appearance on the show. John Cena could be a surprise. They'll both be there. I wouldn't be surprised if Steve Austin shows up, they say. I heard Shawn Michaels may make an appearance. Anybody that they have under a Legends deal and is healthy enough to be in Los Angeles, I would expect to be at Monday Night Raw, Netflix, January 6th. It's going to be the biggest Monday Night Raw of all time. How do they integrate all these names into the show and make it make sense? That's going to be a different story for a different day. That's going to be something that they have to iron out. But I'm excited for it. I can't wait for it. It's going to be the biggest, maybe the biggest stream that I've ever done. And it's going to be tremendous. I can't wait for it. The road to WrestleMania does not start at the Royal Rumble on February 1. The road to WrestleMania starts on January 6th at the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles on Netflix. That's when the road to WrestleMania truly begins, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. We got Saturday night's main event, and 2 weeks later we got Monday, and 3 weeks later, rather, Monday night, January 6th. It's going to be fantastic, man. Can't wait to share it all with you. But everybody and anybody that you can think of is going to be on that show. Let me know what you guys think of everything that we discussed here today down in the comment section below. What do you think of the Rey Fenix situation? What do you think of the Seth Rollins CM Punk rumor of them main eventing January 6th, Netflix, Monday Night Raw debut? And what do you think the plan is for them going into WrestleMania? Yes? Or are they going in separate directions going into WrestleMania 41? Sound off below in the comment section. It is yours. Every comment helps us out in the algorithm. And every time you guys hit that thumbs up, it also helps out in the algorithm as well. Let's get that into the YouTube realm, and let's get as many people to hear this video as humanly possible. Also, I will be live tonight with Jesse for the AEW Dynamite post right here on Off the Script, as always, every Wednesday. And make sure you guys go check out all the great content that we've uploaded already last week and already this week. Go and check that out. We were live on Monday. We were live on Tuesday with the Solid Monster for episode 76 of Tuesday Night Titans. And we will be live again tonight, like I said, for Dynamite. Winter is coming right here on OTS with the one and only Chi-Town Smark. Until then, guys, thank you for a great video. I will see you right back here Wednesday night with more right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.